Good morning, 8th graders. Here we go. 8th grade ELA, March 30th through April 2nd. This is our first week of digital distance learning. I don't know what's happening with my screen. So I don't know what's going on. Okay. So hello, peeps. Welcome to your first full week of digital learning. Look at that cute picture. So cute. Monday, March 30th. Welcome. Lesson 1. Here we go. So our agenda for today, we're going to go over our what, why, and how together. We're going to do some silent reading, some iReady. We're going to talk through your academic vocabulary. That is going to be what gets turned in at the end of this class. And then we're going to talk about planning your week in your weekly planner. That does not get turned in at the end of class. That is a resource for you to use. Here we go. So today, our what, why, and how. We're starting a new unit called Approaching Adulthood. So we are leaving behind our last unit, and we're moving forward, right? What a good way to start digital learning with a new unit. So our overall goal today is just for you all to have an understanding of the academic vocabulary that you're going to see throughout this unit. Why are we doing that? Well, we all want to be on the same page and have the same background information in our heads as we start this unit, even though we're not physically in the same space, right? So we're not in 304 anymore. So at the end of class today, you're going to submit your academic vocabulary. It's a Google Doc. You're going to see it in your stream. I'll show you that in a little bit. I'm going to make comments or corrections if needed and make sure that they are returned to you guys for future use so that you can reference them. So here's what I'd like you to do now. You can go ahead and pause me in a second. I'd like you to set a timer for yourself. You're going to do 15 minutes of silent reading today. You should choose a book that you are interested in. Or, if you have a younger sibling at home, this is an awesome opportunity for you to practice reading to an audience, right? I can think of a handful of you right now that have told me you have a younger sibling at home. Maybe you want to pick up an Elephant and Piggie book. Those are my personal favorites, right? I enjoy reading those aloud. So I want you to set a timer now and pause me now. Welcome back. Here we go. So iReady. You're going to log into Clever, click on iReady, choose either My Pathway or Teacher Assigned, and set a timer for yourself for 15 minutes. I know that when we were doing iReady in my classroom and we were doing 2 separate days of the week for iReady, we did a little bit more time than this. I just want to get you guys transitioning smoothly back into doing iReady. So we're just going to start with 15 minutes for today. If you choose to do more than 15 minutes, that's totally fine, but please don't do less than 15 minutes. Try and get yourself back into the groove of that. And as always, find a cozy space for yourself to get your work done that is free of distractions and go ahead and start your lesson. So you can pause me now and do your lesson. Pause. Welcome back. So, academic vocabulary. Our final unit of the year is called Approaching Adulthood. In your Google Classroom, you are going to find that you have a Google Doc that asks you to go through the academic vocabulary at the very beginning of this unit. It's a pretty simple way to start the unit, a pretty simple way to start your day. You're going to log into your online collections book. If you do not have a textbook, you're going to page 212 and you're going to do your vocabulary and then click and submit. I'll check over it and I'll return it to you. Now, planning your week. Okay. During our soft launch, which was what last Thursday was called, you practiced creating a schedule for yourself. To end today's class, I want you to open the planner for this week. You'll see it in your Google Classroom stream, right? And I want you to create a plan for yourself, an actual plan. So some of you guys did a really good job. Your plans were super detailed. You said at this time, I'm going to do math. Right underneath that, I'm going to do science. If I don't have science homework, I'm going to go on a walk, etc., etc. Okay? Some of you guys said ELA, math, social studies, and then on each of the days you said same. Part of the idea of having you do this plan is for you all to think about, you're becoming adults, right? You have more responsibility, just like we're going to talk about in this unit. And part of having more responsibility is having a plan. So what I really would like you all to do is I really would like you to create a plan of how your weeks are going to work. If you just say same, right, you might not be able to stay on top of yourself and keep yourself as accountable. So to give you all an example, right, you saw my example in the first video that I shared with you all of this online learning experience, if you will. But here, if you go into Google Classroom, right, this happens to be block 1, so hours 1 and 2, and you click on classwork, you're going to see at the very top of resources for distance learning, here's my schedule. This is not my example. This is my actual schedule for you all, right? So it says weekly planner for student and staff use. That means that you can look at this, your parents can look at this, right? Anybody can look at this. This is important, okay? All materials are posted at 7 a.m. I'm not going to be online at 7 a.m., but I have everything scheduled to post on Google Classroom at 7 a.m. for those of you who are early risers. My day is going to start actually at 8 a.m., right? I'm going to check my email, respond to emails. If you have a parent, grandparent, aunt, uncle, whomever at home that calls me because they have an issue, I can still check. You can see right here, I can still check my school voicemail from home. Then I have time scheduled here for block 1. I have time scheduled here for block 2. I have time scheduled down here for block 3. If you look, I put a little star because I want you to come to the bottom and check what it says. It says, during each scheduled block, I will be live on Google Classroom to answer any questions that students or families have. I will be available via email, Google Hangout, and in the comments section of each assignment. In order to tag me, simply ask your question in a comment box and then type at keltya@bdusd.org, and I will be alerted that you have a comment that I need to respond to. You guys know that. I'm going to be available here, I'm going to be available here, and I'm going to be available here to answer those questions. That doesn't mean I'm not available the rest of the week or the rest of the times. That means, though, that specifically those times, I'm going to be sitting right here with my coffee, right? Yum. I'm going to be sitting right here with my coffee ready to answer those questions. All right? At 11 o'clock, I set time aside to make videos like this, but also to record our read aloud. So I'm still going to be available via email. You can still send me emails. I just won't be live at that point. Okay? Pay special attention to my afternoon. Those of you who don't have your days starting until like 11 or 12 o'clock, right? I have time set aside for grading and feedback. I also need you to pay attention to days when I have meetings. It is very similar, if not exactly the same, to what it was like during the regular school day, right? I had meetings on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and I was not available 8th and 9th hour. That is not going to change. So if you have a specific question, you need to think about when and how you're going to communicate that question with me so that you can get your work turned in on time. At 4 o'clock, you see here every single day I have check email. I am going to be on my email at 4 o'clock every day to make sure I get your last minute questions in. However, please don't save questions for the end of the day. All right. There are some of you who have talked to me about, because of, mom or dad's work schedule, you are going to be online later in the afternoon. That is totally fine. If you talk to me, please talk to me. Please let me know that you are going to need to check in later in the day, and I will try and be flexible with you in your schedule. Okay? So for today, you need to turn in your academic vocabulary, and you need to start filling out your planner for the week. Start thinking about your plans for how you're actually going to get your work done. Okay? Happy Monday, peeps. I will see you tomorrow.